Well, the big picture, I guess, is that 2,000 team officials and athletes and coaches will be, swarming into Moncton to take part in the World Junior Championships. The IAAF, which is, of course, the organization that runs this thing, they have lots of guidelines and lots of help from their team to make sure that we know what we're doing, because, of course, none of us have done this before. We also have a special consultant that works with us who's done this for about 25 or 30 years, so he brings a lot of experience and expertise that we don't have internally. So the food menu really is based on an athlete's diet, which on its own can be pretty daunting, but then when you think about the fact we have so many different types of athletes, it becomes a whole other issue again. So we've actually hired a dietitian who has done some work for Canada Games before, etc. So she's worked with us and the food service providers from both Université de Moncton and Mount Allison University to make sure that we develop a menu that's got all the right mixes for all the types of athletes that are coming. We've got a nice mix of options, so there's everything available in terms of proteins, whole fruits, fibers, and then your whole grains, so everything from white right through to whole wheats. Breakfast menus have lots of options in them. Lunch menus have lots of options. At every meal we're going to have pasta bars, because for those athletes who need to carb up. The sauces and everything are left on the sides in order to make sure people have the choice of what they put in on their plates. We are not required to adhere to specific dietary needs or specific religious needs from a food perspective, but what we are required to do is provide enough options and enough ways for them to mix those options so that they can do what they need to do to meet their own requirements. So that's what we've strived for with our menu. We'll provide the list of the ingredients and the menus and everything for them when they arrive. So every day they'll see what's in what they're eating. And if there's something that isn't sufficient for them, then they can make their own arrangements. In some of the residences where they're staying, they'll have, microwaves and things like that, but there won't be anything that they're allowed to do any cooking of their own. Some have requested that, and we've had to tell them no. At Mount Allison University, their facility is normally outfitted to serve 1,100 to 1,300 people because that's the size of their campus, and most of their campus student body come from away and stay during the year. So their facility is already outfitted for that and has a great layout for that kind of service. At UWM, it's a completely opposite situation. The cafeteria there normally services about 300 people. We're asking them to service 1,000 a day. So in order to help them with that, we are providing a huge tent out back. It's 80 by 100. And it will provide additional seating and also additional serving areas. At the stadium itself, we have a number of moving pieces. We have concessions for the public. We're using a concessions approach in order to provide food for the volunteers that will be working longer shifts. So as much as possible, trying to make sure we keep people there for a short enough period of time that we just give them a drink and a snack and can send them home to eat on their own, because it's very expensive, as you may or may not know, to feed people. But we aren't going to be able to do that for everyone, especially for folks like myself with the organizing committee who will be there pretty much 24/7. We're trying to figure out where we're going to put our beds. We also will have a number of meeting rooms and reception areas for VVIPs, VIPs, sponsors, friends of Moncton 2010. All of those folks have reception areas where they will have snacks and drinks and things like that. So we're working through all of those pieces. We also have a giant tent that we're going to offer hot meal service for the media and the sponsors, or media, sponsors, and gold ticket holders will have access to that area. So every day it'll be a different menu, 1 or 2 options and some drinks. So we've been working very closely with one of our national partners, Bell Alliant, who's been, we couldn't have done this without them and their team of experts that have helped us through this massive amount of work. We have, I think between telephone and cable for internet, we have 600 connections that we require just in the stadium and the SEPs alone. Well, we've got, for timing equipment on the track, we've got Seiko coming, of course, the timing people. They are coming as an international sponsor with the IAF, so they bring literally big trailers full of their own equipment and a lot of their own technicians, so they'll bring a team of, I think, 16 people are coming. and they'll bring all their own equipment in, they do all their own wiring, and they'll run the show. So they're going to have, this is going to be one of the first international championships for track and field that's going to use the video distance measurement system, which is it's a system that allows them to have camera shots on all of the finish for all of the different events. Especially, it's more new in the pits in terms of the jumping and the throwing. So it's a unique system that's going to run. I think, like I said, I think it's the first time that a track and field international event has used it. So pretty exciting to have that on the board.